Let's get ready to rumble!
Know your enemy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the America First Warehouse for episode 69 of the Know Your Enemies podcast. I'm James Justice, and we're going to be over here fighting like we always do. Quick shout out to Stephen Ruth. He's no longer going to be on the podcast. He's got some personal things that came up. So shout out to you, brother. We appreciate everything you did and all the episodes. And so I'm going to be at the helm from going forward. So yeah, man. So let's get into this crazy news cycle, shall we? So we got some catching up to do. I wasn't here last week because we had the State of the Union. We had an event here over at the warehouse. So, we kicked off the podcast just to cover the State of the Union, which is a really good time over here. If you had tickets, you know what I'm talking about. So let's get into this news. We have Les Wexner. This guy is in hot water right now. Let's pull up this image. So this guy was at a hearing, and I guess he was running his mouth a little too much, and his attorney basically gave him a death threat, like right on the hot mic that was going, and they picked it up. Let's play this clip real quick. It's the next one up.
Regularly done.
Excuse me. Answer the question. 5 words, okay?
Yo.
Answer the question.
So he basically said, I'm going to effing kill you if you answer the questions with less than 5 words or anything more than 5 words. So Les Wexner is a billionaire, very powerful person that is the owner of Victoria's Secret and a couple other clothing lines that were very successful. But, this guy, Victoria's Secret's and the rest of these major outlets that are like all these fashion shows and stuff like that, they're all dressed in these weird outfits with feathers popping out of their heads and necks. Who the hell knows what goes on behind the scenes with that? But anyway, this guy is a billionaire, and he's got his attorney talking to him, giving him death threats. So I wonder who that attorney is and what his ties are to this whole global establishment blackmail ring that's been going on. But who knows, man? Who knows? But that was caught on a hot mic, and that's pretty crazy. So we also have the Mexican cartels going absolutely berserk because one of their leaders was taken out by the Mexican military and, with the help of the U.S. government. And they're pretty pissed off about it. I got a clip of some of these guys. Look how they're decked out with these vehicles. So these are cartel vehicles. Look at the armored. They got some type of armored bus. That thing looks better than the MRAPs we have here. Yeah, so the country let these people accumulate that amount of weapons and vehicles and armor plating and 50 caliber guns and turrets on top of these things. There's something wrong there, man. There's something wrong. I mean, what's up, Mexico? Like, we got to get this whole thing fixed because enough is enough already. So they arrested this guy, and now the cartels have been wreaking havoc all over the place. They've been setting up roadblocks on the streets, burning cars, and then just killing civilians and so here's a little update we got. So as of February 22nd, Mexico's military killed the top leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, known as El Mencho, sparking violence and power struggles in western Mexico. The U.S. is offering $10 million in rewards for the 2 key leaders of the Sinaloa cartel in the Tijuana area. Meanwhile, Mexico's government is shifting towards harder crackdowns, but experts warn violence may increase with the deeper reforms. Stay alert for potential instability in the key regions. So if you're visiting Mexico, I'd be a little careful of the locations that you're going to because you don't want to get wrapped up in this craziness with these cartels, man. They're just taking people hostage and offering money, and, it's not a good look. Not a good look at all. So we got past the State of the Union, like I was mentioning earlier, and we had an awesome event here at the warehouse, and Donald Trump killed it. He killed it. The State of the Union was on fire. The the country was pumped up after he got done, and there was a couple of Democrats that weren't too happy about it. It was pretty funny. Let's roll this next clip right here. We got some Democrats outside. All right, guys, breaking news. So while Trump was giving the State of the Union address, the Democrats set up their own little press conference outside with their own form of music. Just listen.
No pueden encarcelarnos a todas.
What the hell are we listening to?
No pueden encarcelarnos a todas.
A shooting the Bob at the food and the food. What the hell are we listening to? What is this? All right, you can cut that one off. That is just ridiculous. All right, so that is the Democratic talent. That's there, that's as good as it gets when you're trying to get some music out of the Democrats. I mean, I don't know what the hell they were talking about, but it sounded absolutely ridiculous, just like the Tesla song they had. We'll fight against Doge. I don't know if you heard that one, but that one's absolutely bananas and just makes them look more cuckoo than ever. So while the State of the Union was going on, Trump seemed to trigger a lot of people, and a couple of them was Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. I got a picture of this one. Let's pull this up. Look at that face right there. She was so pissed because he was calling out the Somali pirates, right, and all the fraud that's going on in Minnesota, and how we're finding out where the money finally went, like the Leering Center that Nick Shirley found out about. And, we want accountability. So there's been some arrests going on. So now that it's actual credible, Trump was taking shots at her at the State of the Union, and she just lost it. Let's go to this next clip real quick. Look at Rashida. Ah! That's the goblin mating call right there. That's the face of the goblin mating call. She's another psycho. These people are so unhinged, it's ridiculous. And all they do is protest. And the State of the Union, nobody stood up. Nobody stood up for anything, right? That no matter what was going on, whether it was a veteran that, saw out special forces orders and was a hero in capturing Maduro and got his legs messed up and he can't walk or stand and he's still standing up. These people don't care. We see this time after time. Every single State of the Union, when something good is mentioned, angel moms or whatever it is, the Democrats don't stand up. They don't care, and it's disgusting. It's a bad reflection of the values of our country, and I think it's got to stop. We got Al Green, too. Let's show Al Green. Look at this guy. Black people aren't apes. Obviously, but these guys don't know how to take a joke. So he's referring to the video that went out with the Obamas and the Wee Mwep. It was a hilarious video. I hope you guys saw it. But, so this guy has nothing else in his creative black hole that he's got in his skull than to come up with that. So absolutely ridiculous. So let's take a quick preview of the State of the Union and what was going on here inside the warehouse. Let's roll it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the America First Warehouse for the State of the Union address for 2026. Let's go!
Go there, download the app. America First Media Television. Let's go. There's no other place like this on Long Island or anywhere in the country. We are the most patriotic venue in all the land. Shout out to David Zia, Real American Voice. So it's live from Studio 6B. We usually have it here every Friday. You can come in here, be part of the live audience. Brought to you by the America First Warehouse. We had Greg Hack running against Tom Swazi. There he is right there. Check this out. Sleeping. So we had Greg Hack, and he had a little interview with David Zier here. You can find all these videos on Rumble, UCNY News, or James Justice Uncut. And that's what we were doing here at the warehouse for the State of the Union. And it was an epic time, as it always is, with all the events. So make sure you download the app, America First Media and Television, so you stay up to date with what we're doing over here, the events we have, political speakers that are coming in, movie releases, documentaries, you name it, we do it. You want to get your dance on, we have country line dancing, and it's always something new, something big, and something American going on here at the warehouse. So, yeah, make sure you stay tuned. So we have a crazy war going on right now. We're going to get into that in the next segment. But where I stand is, I'm strictly America first. I want America first, America only. I think we should be focusing on our own country before we start getting involved with everybody else's country. And sending money, no more. We don't want to send any more money out. We don't want to send any more missiles out. We want to bring peace around the world because we're supposed to be the peacemakers. And that's where I stand. I don't want to see people dying. I don't want to see our servicemen getting blown up and coming back as amputees and some coming back in body bags. We don't want to see that, man. We had enough war for the past 50 years with all these different crazy wars in the Middle East, and we want nothing to do with it. So we're going to break that down in a little bit more depth when we come back from the break. But I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. It's almost hump day, but what are you going to do? We're here. So crazy times. And, yeah, man. So we had – what else we got over here? We had the strike group that Trump. All right, here's another thing. So Bibi Netanyahu went to the White House, and within a day or two of him showing up at the White House, we have an entire naval fleet strike group headed to Iran or Iran, and it's down there now. And supposedly, one of the ships took a couple strikes, but we're gonna get back to that when we come back. I'll see you on the other side.
You've worked hard and saved. But inflation and increased money supply are eroding your buying power. Protect and grow your wealth with physical gold and silver. Sound Money. With a Sound Money wallet, your wealth stays in your control. Buy fractionally, vault securely, ship directly, and instantly liquidate your gold and silver at the highest buyback price in the industry. Real money, real ownership. Visit tafwsoundmoney.info. or scan the QR code and start securing your financial future today.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island. Glad you're in.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
We are back at the America First Warehouse. Make sure you share this out. We're trying to fight these algorithms and censorships and shadow bans and de-throttling and every other name you can think of that they're using to slow us down, but it's not going to happen because we got the Justice family and we got the people all around the country that are patriots that are not going to let information slip between their fingers. So welcome back. All right, so let's get into this war news. So we had 6 U.S. crew members, pilots, and weapons officers were ejected safely and have been recovered after 3 U.S. F-15 E-fighter jets were mistakenly shot down over Kuwait by a friendly fire incident. So thank God that they landed on, the Kuwait side, and they took care of them. They were recovered, and they gave them aid and took them to the hospitals and checked them in with the embassies, and so they're good. They're not in any danger whatsoever. But we did have 4 U.S. service members that have been reported killed so far in the broader conflict related to the Iranian missiles and drone attacks associated with the hostiles. So, this is gonna. They said it's gonna be a couple days and it's gonna be a quick in and out. But I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna be a quick in and out. They're trying to stretch this thing for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and it's just gonna get worse. I mean, it's not gonna get any better. I mean, we're attacking these countries and we're expecting no backlash whatsoever. Meanwhile, the terror threats of the country have went up. We're on like a alert system, and the NYPD is on high alert. All the churches and religious services are on high alert. They're being protected. They're having patrol cars parked outside. And, if we would have never got involved, I mean, I understand you want to liberate the country, but, give them freedom and take the burqas off and stuff like that. But if it's going to drag us into a point where, it's doing more harm than good for our country, I don't know. It's going to get longer. And I'm hearing now they want to go into Turkey, and there's a couple other spots they want to go into. And the last episode we covered on episode 68, I showed you guys the Greater Israel map that, the Israeli military is mentioning. Bibi Netanyahu had it up, and they're showing it off, and it stretches way past where they are now. So those are the locations we're going to be looking at in the near future, possibly for the conflict zones. So we shall see. But I got a good video here of a pilot avoiding a surface-to-air missile. Check this out. Check out these maneuvers. That is crazy. And then a little fragment busts off and still following. That is wild, man. Can you imagine being in that plane? You got a rocket right next to your head about to blow you up, and you got a split-second decision on how to get away from that thing? Oh, my God. Shout out to our military and our armed services, man. There's nobody like you on the earth. So that just goes to show you the skill and the technicality that these guys are just flying around at like 500 miles an hour, no problem. It's pretty awesome. Then I got Donald Trump speaking about some of the casualties that happened with these soldiers. We could roll that clip. Let's see what he's talking about.
As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
We don't want any. We don't want any. We don't want any soldiers dying. We should not be involved with this. We should. You blew up their nuclear reactors. That threat was over, and now all of a sudden they got nuclear reactors. And So I caught a clip of Marco Rubio today making a fraudulent slip on something that, I don't know. Play this clip. You'll hear it.
Does Congress have to weigh in? Is the president declaring war, and does Congress have to weigh in?
Asking about if Israel got us into this.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked,
listen up,
by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us. Israel attacked them first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen and we didn't. How we knew that this was going to happen and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
So at the end of the day, Israel struck first. Right? That's what Rubio just said. I just heard somebody else saying something different, but whatever. That's what Rubio said. And once again, why are we backing up a country that is constantly starting conflicts? Right? It makes no sense. And let's go with Benjamin Netanyahu talking about how Iran has nukes, but you could trace this back 30 years, 20 years. Roll it. Let's go. This is crazy.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
It's been the same story for all these years.
Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Yo, so if he's saying this for all these decades, right, he's just kicking the can every single time. It's the same story. Now we're going to believe him? Like, that, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And, like, I'm so fed up with all of this crap, with the division that it's causing. And, you know, our country is our country. If you know, they want to go be Israel and start wars and know they can't win them, let's not aid them in that, because that's not what America's about. We're about peace, and we're not going around picking fights with people. And if you look at the Greater Israel Plan and the map that is produced, it overlays over Mecca, right? One of the most holy Arab sites that's out there, and they want to take it over and cleanse it. I played the video last time. We don't need to be involved in these conflicts. We need to fix our country. We've already spent, I think it was like $862 million in the first day just off of munitions and missiles. $862 million in the first day. And we're going to keep kicking this can down the road, and it's just going to hyperinflate everything, right? The wars cost money. We have to take out the money from somewhere. We're in debt. We don't got no money, right? So we have to take it out from somewhere to be able to buy these bombs and take out these loans, and that's just going to further the deficit, further the hyperinflation, and it's going to destroy the oil markets. And once the oil markets are destroyed, we're going to go up to what? What do you want, $400 a barrel? Is that what you want? And then all of a sudden we're paying $25 at the gas pump per gallon? Dude, it's retarded. We need to stay out of these wars, mind our own business, and get back to being America first. It's crazy. So what else we got over here? All right, so let's play this clip. We're going to go to asset number 8. This is a prayer call. So, like, all this stuff, this is what it's leading to. It's fueling the animosity within the Muslim population and the Arabs that are already here, and it's stirring up the pot. And this just happened in Times Square, and just see it for yourself. Play it.
Giving that, yo, make some noise from the brother water right now, baby. MashaAllah, yeah. Takbir! Oh, don't scare them, brothers. Relax. They're over here on purpose to be like, oh my God. Who's seen those videos where they're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York City? You seen those? You seen those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City. Takbir!
My ass, you're taking over. My ass, you're taking over. So in response to that, we have a Crusader March coming up Saturday in Times Square. Pull this flyer up. So shout out to Jake Lang. He put together this march because we can't have this going on, man. Like they have these prayer calls going on in Brooklyn at like 5 a.m. in the morning. People are still trying to sleep, and they're blasting this out really hard. So 12 o'clock Saturday, we're going to be in New York City. We're going to Gracie Mansion at the mayor's mansion, and we're going to be there protesting, and we're going to be delivering a nice message to him to let him know that this is a Christian nation, that we want to get back to our Christian values, and this stuff going on in Times Square where you're screaming Allah Akbar and saying you're going to take over our country. Hey, ICE, come get them, get them out of here. And if you're a citizen and you're talking like that, where you want the overthrow of the country that you came to, they provided you with everything that you have, you're a fool. You're an absolute fool. But, so that's going to be going on this Saturday. Make sure if you're in the city area, go check that out. And I'll be down there, boots on the ground, getting some audio and taking videos of what's going on in this point in time in history. Because if people aren't going to record it and put it out, it doesn't happen. And nobody knows it even exists. So that's what we're out here doing. Shout out to all the America First people out there. We are the resistance. We are the Second American Revolution, and we're no different than the forefathers back then. They just might have been a little bit more smart and a little bit more articulate than we are, but we have the same heart and same patriotism that they do. So that's what we're going to be out here doing. We're going to be marching forward, alerting the public, waking people up to the real problems that's going on, not just the local politicians, not just the celebrity gossip and movies and stuff like that. We are focused on the puppeteers of the politicians, the ones that really pull the strings. The World Economic Forum, Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Davos Group, the Bilderberg Group, Skull and Bones, the Freemasons, and the rest of you criminal, satanic scumbags that are trying to enslave humanity with a digital system. That's what we're here doing. That's what this podcast represents. And we're going to take you deeper than anybody else can, because we've been doing this for decades and decades. So we're about to go to break. We got about 10 seconds left, and I'm going to be back on with Jake Lang, who is going to be the host of this event going on in New York City this weekend, and he's going to fill us in on his recent arrest in Washington, D.C., and some of the other stuff that's been going on. So I will see you on the other side. Share this out. Let's go.
Have you noticed your money just doesn't stretch like it used to? Your paycheck feels lighter, and your savings aren't growing. The culprits? Inflation and increased money supply. They've both been quietly eating away at your purchasing power for years. Today, the dollar's value has dropped significantly. You feel it every time you spend money on goods and services. Back in 1965, $1 or an ounce of silver could buy you a gallon of milk. Fast forward to today. That same dollar barely buys a couple of coffee creamers, while an ounce of silver would get you 8 gallons of milk. Gold and silver have held their value for centuries. If you had 2,500 ounces of silver back in 1965, you could buy a brand new Ford Mustang. Today, 2,500 ounces of silver would buy you 2 Mustangs. Similarly, in the year 2000, 628 ounces of gold would buy a new $170,000 home. Today, 628 ounces would buy you a $2,500,000 home. The problem? 95% of Americans don't own physical gold or silver. They think it's too complicated and too expensive. But it doesn't have to be. We offer a membership program that allows you to buy gold or silver with as little as $1. You can buy fractional amounts, safely vault them, or have them delivered to your doorstep. And you can liquidate them whenever you want at the highest buyback price in the industry. Ready to protect your wealth and keep your purchasing power? Scan the QR code or go to tafw.soundmoney.com to learn more.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
6B on a Friday night, live at the America First Warehouse. Live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday, Real America's Voice, all across the country, 103.9 LI News Radio, all across your radio, Suffolk County, Long Island.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome back to the America First Warehouse. We're still doing fighting every day, all day long.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
All right. Welcome back to the America First Warehouse. I'm James Justice. Let's go. We got my buddy Jake Lang is on. He is here, and we're going to get some updates of what's been going on. What's up, my brother? Welcome back to the show.
James, God bless you, man. You caught me in the middle of an operation right now. I'm on a stakeout for a Somali. There is an illegal Somali who has jumped his $110,000 bond, and I'm with my team right now. We are in Minneapolis, and we're going to find this guy because this guy's a drug dealer. He's a danger to our communities, and we are waiting outside his last known address right now. We're about to nab this guy. So, I'll have my head on a swivel here. I'm on a dangerous operation.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I hope you get him out of there, turn him over to ICE, and deport his ass back to wherever the hell he came from, because we don't need people like that in this country at all.
Amen. Thanks, James. It's good to be back on. Big shout out to Joe, the Box, and all the great American Patriots there at America First Warehouse. And we will see you New Yorkers this Saturday. We are outside Zoran Mandami. Remember, guys, Zoran is the face of Islam for the entire world, especially now that Khamenei's died. Zoran is the #1 Muslim in the world. So we will be standing against him on Saturday, 12 o'clock at the Gracie Mansion, which is a New York City mayoral mansion, Upper East Side. See you Patriots there. Bring your American flags, bring your pigs, your dogs, your goats, and let's get these Muslims out of New York City.
That's it. Absolutely. And I saw you were recently in D.C. and they arrested you. What happened with that? What was the whole debacle with that?
That was more lawfare stemming from January 6, 2026. We had a big demonstration the January 6ers did. It was our first year returning to, the United States Capitol after being pardoned by President Trump. And we came across some of the Capitol police officers and MPD officers that ended up brutalizing some of our fellow patriots. In fact, one that we know very well, Victoria White, was mercilessly punched in the face and even hit repeatedly, like a half a dozen times, with a metal baton by this commander. He's a lieutenant commander called Jason Bagshaw. And not only was this animalistic behavior where he literally tried to kill Victoria White, who was defenseless. She didn't throw a fist back. She was stuck in a hallway with her hand stuck to her side because it was so crowded. And this huge man just reaching over the crowd, punching down, hitting her in the face. And it was one of the most grotesque videos anyone's ever seen. If you want to see the video, it's on my X account and my Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Jake Lang. You can watch the second to last video I posted. But if that wasn't bad enough, Jason Bagshaw was actually the officer, because he was the commander that day, that put the order out to start firing munitions into the crowd. So legitimately, Jason Bagshaw is almost single-handedly responsible for January 6th. And we want to know who gave him that permission, who made him make that call to turn a peaceful crowd and shoot rubber bullets and tear gas and pepper spray and all the stuff they did. That was by Jason Bagshaw's command, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And by the way, I called him out for this type of disgusting behavior on January 6, 2026, and they said that I was threatening him and harassing him. So they hit me with a misdemeanor charge, and they arrested me outside the U.S. Capitol during one of my most recent demonstrations against a filibuster to pass the SAVE Act. So just more lawfare.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's pathetic how low these people will go just to try to hinder somebody that's getting a message across that's starting to resonate with the American people. They don't want that at all. And they're straight commies. And, all these people should be deported. Even if you're an American citizen, if you take a stand with a communist regime and you start acting like tyrants, we should deport your ass, strip your citizenship, and go send you to some freaking island. Put them out on Hart Island outside of Manhattan and let them stay with the homeless
That's
graves.
what I like to hear.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous.
Well, you know, this just goes to show that the deep state apparatchiks that really are still prevalent, and they're the ones that are blocking the January 6th restitution lawsuits. They're the ones that are refusing to arrest the Epstein list Democrats in the deep state. Those people like Jason Bagshaw and many others are still embedded in Washington, D.C. Many prosecutors, many different, peripheral members, higher-ups, brass people. They hate our country, and they're waiting for any opportunity. Like, for me, they put that arrest warrant out. Not, first of all, I said all the things I said to Officer Jason Bagshaw in front of like 100 police officers. So if they really felt threatened, they would have arrested me that very moment. Yeah. But they waited to, midnight, the night before I had this big demonstration plan to issue the arrest warrant. So these people are watching me. They're watching the Crusader movement, and they're looking to hinder and stifle us through this lawfare. But, unfortunately for them, we've had a good tango here with lawfare, and we're pretty experienced and how to battle these leftist lunatics that have embedded themselves in power. And I think that President Trump is very keen to the situation, and we're going to be seeing some people get fired over this. I think that they did this midnight warrant underneath the noses of Pam Bondi and Harmeet Dillon and all the people inside the DOJ, because they knew they'd be disgusted with this lawfare if they had time to react to it. So Jason Bagshaw's got to go. We got to fire him, prosecute him, put him away for life, and all the other, known police assailants that day showed complete disregard for our constitutional rights and brutalized and murdered Ashley Babbitt, murdered Roseanne Boylan, killed Kevin Greason and Benjamin Phillip. We still have no arrests for COVID, for J6, for Russiagate. Yep. So there are deep state apparatchiks like Jason Bagshaw that are looking to destroy this country. We need to root them out and send them packing.
Yeah, exactly. We need accountability, and that's what I think is going to get the American spirit raised up again to the point where people actually want to jump in the arena and get involved, because right now everybody's on the back burner watching everything on social media, and nobody wants to get involved with anything. It's like, all right, you could go wave your flag, you want to show up at a rally, but when boots have to hit the ground, your boots are hanging up in a closet, and you're sitting there watching Netflix. We don't want fake patriots. We need people that are going to be solid, that are going to be revolutionaries, and step up to the plate to get the Second American Revolution locked in so we can finally rid the swamp. We don't want to pull the drain. We don't want to pull the drain and watch the swamp go down. We want to put Drano inside the drain and watch everything get gulped down in one shot and be done with it, because this is our country, and it's a Christian nation, and we're tired of letting it slip away to all these other factions that don't even care about our country.
Amen. So we're doing everything we can. This Crusader movement that we've been building is really grown astronomically. The amount of impact we've had. I mean, if you look at the way that things have gone since Dearborn, Michigan, Plano, Texas, and Minneapolis, now we have President Trump going on the front line with the Iran strikes, and it's basically like, the West has declared literal physical war now with Islam, radical Islam, which it's all radical. There's no such thing between Islam and radical Islam. And in my understanding that they're all waiting for their jihad, waiting for their moment, sleeper cell to be radicalized. But if you look the way that the current political climate is, we're winning. And now our leadership is following along with the will of the people, and the activists like myself that have brought to light this disgust and this disdain for the white replacement and for the Christian replacement that's happening in this country. President Trump's reacting in kind, and we're seeing, actual acts of physical pushback happening now. And I'm very proud of that, because I love to see America not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. We've got to put these people in their place. They cannot take over Europe and America and expect we just roll over and show them our bellies. We have power, we have muscle, we have Jesus Christ as our Lord, and we need to drive these people back to where they came from.
Yep, amen to that. Absolutely. I mean, we don't want to end up like these other countries where you could just watch the videos and their culture is completely gone. There's like Ireland. There's a mosque every other block in Ireland. It was never like that. It was Catholic Irish people and Christians, and it was just an Irish community. And, now it's just gone. And now they're crying about it, and there's nothing you can do because it's too late. We're not at that point yet. I mean, we're teetering off the cliff, but we still have a chance to reset things and get things back to the way they need to be here. But these other countries, man, that signed up with the European Union and all these other things, you let the globalists just take your culture, take your country, and take everything that you stand for and slam it into the ground and stomp it in and just laugh in your face. And then, it's too late. So we're not going to do that here in America because we still got our balls attached, and we're going to go at these people like rams butting heads, and that's it.
Amen. Amen. So, guys, if you want to get involved in this movement to fight back for your children's children, if you don't want your children learning how to pray to the demonic entity known as Allah in their schools, like they force the white children in Australia and in London and in Paris to bow down on the prayer rugs, if you don't want that to happen to your grandchildren, stand with me. Stand with the Crusaders. Shoot me a DM. It's very simple to get involved. On Facebook, on Instagram, on X. Just type in Jake Lang, L-A-N-G, and join the Crusaders. We have chapters set up in all 50 states, every major city. We are looking for men to stand up and stand with us. We will fight for our country. Blood, sweat, and tears we will pour out for our country to make sure we stay free.
Exactly. And now's the time. This is the moment in history where your kids could look back and your grandkids could look back and say, wow, my dad, my grandpa, my great-great-grandpa was in the middle of all this stuff, and he never turned his back on the country. He pushed forward, and he was with some of the most hardcore revolutionaries of that time, of 2026, and they stopped the digital enslavement of mankind. And that's what we want, man. That's all it is. It's, they're using all these religious wars as a proxy to usher in the digital age and the digital enslavement and to basically wipe out mankind because they're done with us because the robots are built. But as a Christian nation, we have to fight against that because anything that God created, we have to protect. And he created the animals, he created the plants, he created us, and we're made in his image. And the Satanists want nothing more than to destroy everything that God created. And we're not going to stand for it because we are the warriors for Christ.
Amen. Guys, I've got to get back to my operation here. My team is telling me right now is like the time of dusk where people are moving in and out. I've got to jump off here. But Patriots, New York Patriots, I'm expecting you. This is the clarion call. This is, where the British are coming. The British are coming. New York City. Mayor Mandami's Gracie Mansion, 12 noon this Saturday. Show up and be prepared to stand for your country against the rapid Islamification of New York City. We are calling to end these humiliation ritual public prayer calls. We need them ended. We cannot have the greatest city in the world and the greatest country in the world become some type of... Oh, we got to go right now, guys.
All right.
God bless.
Thanks for joining us, Jack. I'll see you later.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent. But the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single Justice for All with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
All right. We are back at the America First Warehouse. What's up, everybody? All right. So for this segment here, as you can tell, usually when I open up the podcast, I have like a hip hop beat playing or something with the, the pre-roll going on. And so I used to be a hip hop head back in the day. My older brother listened to hip hop, so I grew up with it. And I kind of developed a love for it when it was in its pure essence back in the late 80s, early 90s. And, I witnessed firsthand how the message has changed throughout time, how it went from, Kool Moe Dee, Jam Master Jay. If you're familiar, you're familiar. If not, whatever. But, LL Cool J in the earlier days. And it was all about positive music. It was all about who can lyrically represent better. And that's what hip-hop was at its roots. That's what it was. And, around the early 90s, there started to be a very dramatic shift. And it's the same time that the NAFTA agreement was signed. And that was around 1994 under Clinton. Now, what happened was the hip-hop industry started to explode in popularity all over the place because of, it was just a new style of music and it was catchy and the lyrics were good and it was fun to, interact with. And what happened was this thing started to spread so far and wide that our government had to get a hold on it, right? And it was the CIA. And they were like, this message is resonating too fast, too quickly, and this movement is growing really fast. So we have to get a hold of it. So what they did was they started converting the positive music where it was more about lyricism and coming up with, catchy slogans and stuff while you're rapping to gangster rap. And around 1991, 1992, you started seeing NWA come out where it was F the Police, and that was the song that was big. It was all over the radio stations from coast to coast, and that was like the birth of gangster rap. And after you had, NWA come out, you had Snoop Dogg, you had Dr. Dre, you had Nate Dogg, then it went into like the Little John era and the club scenes. But at that same time where they were hijacking the music industry, and we're talking about black culture here because we just got off talking about culture with Jake Lang. So now we're going to talk about the black culture. Now, the African-American population, back when Martin Luther King was around and segregation was around, the black populations and communities had their own stuff, right? They had their own stuff. They had car dealerships, they had laundromats, they had accountants, they had whatever, delis, grocery stores, you name it. They were doing great, right? And majority of the population, they were very religious. They had Christian values. They went to church. Their grandmothers went to church. They brought the whole family with them, and there was a very tight-knit community. So going back to like the early 90s, what happened was we used to have all these factories. We used to, export a lot of products, microchips, you name it, we built it here in America, and we shipped it off overseas, and we were making money off it. Now, Bill Clinton came in with the NAFTA agreement and basically like raised the tax rates and made all of these companies and manufacturing plants that we had here in America go overseas and leave the country. Now, majority of these plants were put near black areas because they didn't, the white neighborhoods, upscale white neighborhoods didn't want them. Not to sound racist or none, but this is the way it was. they didn't want them in the white neighborhoods, so they stuck them closer to the black communities, so it was easier for the black communities to go to work. Now, these jobs came with very good benefits, right? You're a factory worker, you get a 401k, you get a pension, you get full benefits, you have a salary, you're making good money. So a lot of these people that were working in these factories started buying homes and developing communities and becoming established people in the community and raising up politically, because, you know, when you could save money, you can afford to spend a little money on your campaign, make signs up, and all this other stuff. So that was a big threat to the power structure. They didn't want this going on. So what they did was they shipped all the jobs overseas. Now, all the black Americans that had their houses, they had their great jobs, their 401ks, instantly it's gone. The factory's like, oh, sorry, I'm laying everybody off. We're going to Taiwan. We're going to Vietnam. We're going to China. We're going here. And they left, right? So now you left these people with a mortgage to pay. And they couldn't pay their mortgage because now their job's gone. So it's either you eat through your savings or you got to figure something out. Now, at the same time that happened, 1994, 93, Bill Clinton introduced the mandatory minimum laws for anybody possessing crack cocaine, right? And Joe Biden was on board, and all these other people were on board of Congress. And they introduced crack cocaine into the black population, saying, hey, you want an easy way to make money? And they used the rappers to do it, right? The rappers were the ones that they used when they infiltrated the positive hip-hop and flipped it over to gangster music. Then it went to drug pushing. Then it went to the club scenes. Then it went to being a pimp with Little John and his pimp cup. But this is what happened. So this culture got hijacked, and nothing good ever came of it because they'd never realized that the culture got hijacked. So all the hip hop that we grew up with, and it got mutated into this mush music where it's just mumble rap. You don't even know what the hell they're talking about. It's just got a good beat. That was done on purpose, and it stripped the black Americans of their power of having a social structure within their community that could be elevated. And that's exactly what happened. So the music industry is kind of what defines culture here in America. And if your music is all about sex and breakups and immoral behavior and demoralizing and negative towards women, and that's what you're going to get in society if you make that the norm. So if you notice, all these radio stations play the same song over and over and over. It's like 15 songs that they play over and over and over and over. Even if you hate the song, you hear it enough times, and then you start singing to it when it comes on, because it's just, you know the lyrics. And you don't even like the song, but you know the lyrics. And now all of a sudden, maybe I do like the song. It's brainwashing. It's the same technique when you use repetitive behavior to create a scenario that you want. But that's what they did, and they hijacked the culture, and now this is what we're stuck with. We have the Bad Bunnies of the world. We have the Cardi B's. You have the whatever the hell their names are. They're disgusting. They're immoral. They downgrade the women of our society. They make abortions very accessible, and they push a culture of just degeneracy. So we have to come as a collective, country and species and realize that we're not doing good, man. The ancient people that we had before us were doing way better. They were way smarter and had a better connection with God and everything else than we ever will. So, moral of the story, stop letting outside influences control the power and the person that you are, because everybody is a fantastic person. You have unlimited potential. We can do anything that we want. It's just everybody gets sidetracked by something, and we got to stop letting that happen, right? There's too many things going on. People just have to step away and realize that we as humans are the collective species of this planet, and we have more power than anybody could ever imagine, and that's what we need to focus on, is unity. That's all it is. That's all it is. I always tell people, if I want to go outside and flip a car right now or a bus, I can go out there and yank on it and push it and pull it as hard as I want. It's not going anywhere. There's nothing you could do as one person. But together, if I have a group of 20 people in here and I exert enough energy to get them all riled up and say, yo, let's go, we can do this. We're going to go outside and we're going to take whatever vehicle it is and we're going to flip it and roll it as far as we want down the block. No problem, because that's what we are as people, right? We're powerful. And, you can't forget it. You can't forget it. So stop letting, whether it be movie stars, whether it be artists, I don't care what, genre of music you're in, Stop letting these people manipulate how you are as a person. Don't idolize people. Idolize yourself. Idolize God and Jesus Christ, because those are the only people that are going to get you on a path that you need to be on. And, you see all this stuff. You see the halftime shows. You see all the symbolism. You see all the red robes and the fire and the worship to hell and Lucifer and all these other weirdos that they have running around controlling the movie industry and the media. So let's break away from that, and let's get this country back to where it needs to be with Christian values. Let's all stick together and stop with the racism nonsense, because there's no such thing as racism. All right, all there is ignorant people. That's all this is, right? Ignorant people that don't know any better. That's your leading cause of racism, because they don't have any, experience in the real world, and they're just taking talking points from somebody else or a quick clip, and they're going, you're racist. Ah! Let's stop being naive, guys. We're powerful as a collective. So make sure you go to UCNY News on Rumble. I don't use YouTube anymore, so go on Rumble, UCNY News, or James Justice Uncut. You get raw, unfiltered videos all over there, and they can't take them down. And also go to UCNYnews.com if you're looking for Hunter Biden's laptop, Jeffrey Epstein's black book, Ashley Biden's diary, declassified military documents. I have whistleblowers, you name it, it's on the website. So you go over there. I categorized everything so it's nice and easy for you to look at. So, yeah, man. Episode 69, this is crazy. Next week, episode 70. I thank everybody that has been tuning in and sharing the videos out and getting my reports out. I love all of you. I wouldn't be here without you. So keep doing what you're doing. And, yeah, man, we are kicking ass. We just got to get a couple more things locked in. And, yeah, man. What's up? Oh, I don't know. Can't see it. But, oh, yeah. So, no, never mind. I got it. So make sure you go to download the app for Apple and Android. We're working on getting on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. That should be out, sometime in the near future. But head on over to the App Store for Android or Apple. Download America First Media and Television. We have a whole podcast lineup that you're not going to want to miss. You can find yours truly over there for the Know Your Enemies podcast. We have the Patriots, who are the rival to The View. Patriots Raw, my bad. The Patriots Raw. And they're the rival to The View. If you're tired of seeing cranky old women just falling apart on camera and whining and complaining about everything, you're going to go to the Patriots Raw on our network, and you're going to be refreshed. You're going to be rejuvenated, and you're going to go, wow, there is life in women. This show's great. So they always have on good guests. So make sure you head on over there. We also have the America First podcast. There's a whole lineup, man. Just go get the app, America First Media and Television, and the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free, folks. Believe me, it's going to be a wonderful time. And that's the conclusion of episode 69 of the Know Your Enemies podcast. I'll see you next week. I love you. Bigly. See you later.
First warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity.